game with the white pieces against Seba Pinto, rated 970. We're going to develop and attack his pawn. He won't defend it with the knight. Instead, he plays d6, going into some type of Philidor. We're going to play d4 and attack his center. He will likely take. If we take with our queen, he can develop an attack. We can pin the knight. He can break the pin. Okay, but none of that happens. Instead, he develops his knight, attacks our pawn. You could push. You could take. Let's take his strong central pawn with our strong central pawn. Okay, he takes with the knight. Takes, takes, takes. Here. Let's just play a queen trade line. It's something different from the white side. Also, you can move your queen if you don't want a queen trade, but let's just go down it. It's not necessarily bad for black, but he can't castle, so it's fun. We'll develop with a threat. He'll ignore us and he'll counter threat. We'll pin the knight that's doing the attacking to defend our pawn and develop at the same time. He attacks the knight. The bishop, and we'll take the knight. So we transform the structure, but we want to keep developing. For the time being, there's a hanging pawn though, so I think we should prioritize that and take it as a win condition. It's now a 4-on-3 on the king side. So if we go down to a king and pawn endgame, we can try to promote the g pawn. So now that we are up material, he attacks our bishop. We need to move the bishop to a nice defended square, far away like a sniper. And he challenges our bishop. I don't want to take and improve his king, so I'm going to develop my knight. If I go here, he can play c6. If I go here, where's it headed? Maybe in these squares even. So he develops his rook, but let's long castle and defend. We connect our rooks. We're fully developed. We're up a pawn, and our structure's better. So we have everything we need, and black doesn't have any compensation for it. Also, this bishop is kind of stuck. That's why he moves his king again. The downside is it undefends your bishop, and you lose the game. Resigns in 3. Nope. Just to prove me wrong, he attacks a pawn. I'm going to move my rook and support the f4 pawn advance, breaking down his center. But he counters my g pawn. The downside is rook's hanging, and he resigns in 3. Once again, just to prove me wrong, right on time, he makes a move at 0 for no reason whatsoever. And we'll just go all the way back, up a rook, up a knight, up a pawn. What is this? And these are 1,000 rated players, guys. 1,000. So you could do whatever you want here. I'm going to move my knight and just open the rooks. He hangs his rook. We'll just take it. This guy has no idea. Why does he even bother playing the game? And not this game. Why does he play chess at all if he's just going to hang everything? So we just double stack. and we could checkmate the guy in 1 because the bishop covers the escape square. I mean, he can get out of it, let's say, move the f pawn, make it not, so it's not a mate in 1, but bishop back, things like that. But I'm up 14 points of material, so I'll just take the bishop. He doesn't stop mate in 1, so we do it. And we click new opponent so we can forget this game as fast as possible. Now we're up against a1, 2, 3. King's pawn opening. Let's see how he responds to the Pirc defense at 950 rating. I don't know why players always stop on move 2. It's not that serious. I mean, what the heck? Finally. He brings the knight out. He's defending the pawn. He brings a bishop out for a meaningless check that helps us improve our position by playing c6, controlling the center, and dominating his knight. He goes all the way back home, wasting time, and we can play g6 and continue with our Pirc setup. Black's already better. It looks like 1, 2, 3, 4. It looks like we made 4 moves and white made 2 moves, right? So who's going to have more progress in their position? The one who looks like they made 4 moves. And this guy is super annoying because he takes way too much time for no reason. It's move 4 or 5, I guess. It looks like it's move 3 for him, but that's because he just played around with his bishop. It's move 5. Do something. Bring out a piece. Push a pawn. Blunder your queen. I don't even care at this point. He goes d3, protecting the pawn. Let's just fianchetto. Our bishop is now very strong on this diagonal since he didn't push further. And our position's great. We might just win on time because this guy's the slowest chess player I've ever seen. And we're ready to castle. If he brings the knight out, after castling you can pin it. Otherwise, you can bring your knight in the center. You can play for ideas like b5, b4. And that's it. But this guy is just, I mean, I want to click the resign button, but I'm not going to. Maybe I should. This guy's annoying. He goes to the side, which does nothing. 2 minutes well spent. Let's just play the move I mentioned earlier, b5, and put it back home. Let's see how long it takes him to make a forced move. There we go. So he's quick on that one. Let's just castle. And now we just got in 2 free moves. It was his turn in the same exact position he has now. But we got to play b5 and castle. And that's the power of free moves. You get the exact same position, but with more progress. Can't complain. And now we're ready to play b4 at any point, weakening the diagonal further. But now white's back to thinking and processing, because he has a fully undeveloped king side, and this guy wants to reinvent the wheel instead of just bringing out your pieces and castling. He's spending minutes upon minutes trying to figure out what to do when it couldn't possibly be more obvious. If we flip the board and we're white, what could you possibly be thinking about other than developing your king side? You told me. But he's white. And I'm being extra harsh because I'm impatient. And so, even though this guy should take his time when he plays chess, because I'm impatient, I'm scolding him or making fun of him or criticizing his moves and stuff because I don't want to sit here for minutes and wait for his terrible move to show up on the board. So I'm just gonna say something a little mean, and then I'm gonna resign. I'm not gonna sit there and wait for his, he's just gonna do something dumb anyway. It's not worth it. I'm gonna go d6, and we'll try to get a Pirc against an opponent who makes moves. So we attack the pawn, he defends it. This guy's 1150, so better than our previous opponent. He puts another pawn in the center, and we're ready to fianchetto. Okay, he attacks the knight immediately by playing the aggressive bishop g5. He might want to long castle and attack us. So I'm going to throw in this move c6. What it does is it stops his knight from jumping in the center, and it also prepares b5, b4 for when he queenside castles. It also prepares b5, b4 to win a pawn even for getting the castle. So now he develops the bishop here, and we're familiar with this pattern. When they put the bishop here, you have ideas of the center fork trick, but that doesn't win material. We also have the option of kicking the bishop. Let's throw that move in, because if he goes to this diagonal, which is natural to some people, but this guy's smart enough to know not to do it, we could have there kicked the knight and won the pawn. But here he goes here and defends the pawn. So if we kick the knight, we don't win it. So it's clever on his part. Good find by him. And I'm just going to develop my knight towards the center. Okay, he develops his knight. He doesn't lift the queen. That's fine. I guess here I'll develop my bishop and castle. If he goes for this, I'm not too worried. He spent a little bit of time on some weird moves, so shouldn't be too dangerous. But he castles short, so he's not, we're not in danger of an opposite side castle pawn storm. And we could just castle our king. And now we have a standard setup for the Pirc. And now he creates his battery. We could avoid it by moving our rook, and on bishop here, retreat the bishop. It's possible. Don't have to, though. Might even be able to just play e5 here, controlling the center. Let's go for that. Let's now stake our claim in the center. We're castled on the same side. You could make queenside moves, but I feel like center's good. So he pushes past and attacks our pawn here. I kind of want to lock the structure and cement it, but this pawn is loose. If I intermezzo, he gets a pawn, I get a piece. He gets a piece, I get a queen. So I think I can intermezzo b4 so it doesn't hang. And then when he moves his knight, I can go c5 and solidify the structure. And we get a bunch of pawns here. And if we get these 6 pawns... Oh, he throws this in, but I thought we could take here. Only because it hits the queen, and that's priority. Okay, so he takes back with the queen, but then he doesn't get the piece. Okay, so we're up a piece, and I can go here, hitting the bishop and blocking the queen's connection with the pawn. So now we have our win condition. He takes the knight, which is a crazy decision because it was pinned and there's no reason to. We could take either way, but I want to leave the queen here by the pawn. Let's just take with the bishop. We can always go back. I don't want my queen in line with his rook anyway. We could take the bishop, but he takes with the rook. We have a weak D pawn, but who really cares? We're up a piece. Let's take that because now we have the only light square bishop with decent diagonals and squares, right? Wait, what? Oh, he just resigns because I would have given him the turn back if he asked for a take back. But maybe he mouse slipped. He didn't take the knight. But let's say he takes the knight. I mean, you don't really care about this d pawn, although you could just go bishop e7 and hold on to it forever because his rooks, you know, can never take it unless they sack. You could do something like queen b6, bishop a6, rook c8, and your position's just completely crushing and winning. That's why 95% game, relatively easy. And you're going to see some ideas from the Philidor in this opening. I just think it's a little harder to play, or a good amount harder to play in this opening because g6 is just not as strong as e5 in my opinion. Anyway, good luck in your chess. Hopefully this helps you. Submit your rapid games in my Discord for free analysis.